Hi, I'm Wal Galbraith. I'm a part of the Ray White South Coast Group, and this is your South Coast Snapshot for 2022, week 44. The Snapshot is designed to give you a bite-sized breakdown of the real estate market overall, including local, regional and city-based information across Australia. All information is sourced from the AFR, leading economists on Twitter, and the Sydney Morning Herald. All information is relevant to buyers, property owners or both. Regional towns across Australia are grappling with a triple whammy of a resources boom, a buoyant housing market and state government stimulus as they try to overcome the crippling shortage of homes for their residents, workers and visitors, which many say is worse than during the last resources investment boom a decade ago. High net worth individuals less reliant on bank loans have been competing fiercely for the finite supply of top quality prestige properties. Sales of properties worth 10 million plus have climbed by 25% nationwide in the 12 months to September. Residential listings have surged by as much as 64% in the past 12 months among sought after lifestyle locations that boomed during the pandemic exodus as vendors rushed to cash out amid the accelerating downturn. Coffs Harbour, Richmond Valley and Southern Highlands also posted a sharp rise in total stock, climbing by 59.3%, 53.2% and 40.5% over the year respectively. In Queensland, listings rose by 29.7% on the Gold Coast hinterland, it lifted by 29.8% on the Sunshine Coast hinterland and by 44% in Noosa hinterland. I think the build-up in stock could mean that properties are taking longer to sell in a lot of those regions, said Eliza Owen, CoreLogic Head of Research. Houses and units in nearly 4 out of 5 suburbs nationwide or across 2,404 markets are now worth less than they were 3 months ago. That result is almost double the number recorded in the previous quarter as 6 successive interest rate increases and the rising cost of living accelerates the housing downturn. House prices across all 563 Sydney suburbs have dropped in the past 3 months, led by Asquith in the Upper North Shore with a 13% decline, followed by 11.8% in Redfern, 11.1% in Killarney Heights and 11% in Artarmon. Building material and labour shortages pushed new housing construction to its lowest level in more than 18 months, with new starts slipping to 30,926 in the June quarter, official figures showed on Wednesday. The decline was greater in commencements of apartments, townhouses and semi-detached dwellings, which fell by 6% from the March quarter to a seasonally adjusted 16,966, leaving total housing starts down 2.7% at 48,076 in the 3 months to June. Delays forced on builders were slowing construction, but builders were also likely delaying some projects by choice, particularly apartment buildings that had passed pre-sales hurdles but to which had still unsold stock, to time their completion for a time when prices were no longer falling, Master Builders Australia Chief Economist Shane Garrett said. Residential vacancy rates have blown out in some outer ring and coastal suburbs around the country, defying the tightness in the broader market as more people move back closer to the central business districts, analysis by SQM research shows. The portion of empty rental homes ballooned to 13% across Schofields and Sydney's northwest, and vacancy rates in Pandemic Haven, Scottish Island and Palm Beach on the northern beaches have surged to 11% and 10% respectively. There are now more than 20 regions across the country where the rental market has turned, according to Lewis Christopher, SQM Research Managing Director. The Regional Movers Index created by CBA and the Regional Australia Institute shows that the number of people moving from capital cities to regions fell by 16.5% during the June quarter compared to the previous quarter. At the height of the pandemic, capital city residents moved to regions in record numbers, some 15.4% higher than in the 2 years pre-COVID. Renting in Australia's most populous states is still cheaper than buying, but owning a home has become more affordable in others, analysis by CoreLogic shows. Across 518 suburbs around the country, the cost of mortgage repayments on a house is lower than the average rent price, in some cases as much as $927 a month, despite the rapidly rising interest rates. Queensland, WA and the Northern Territory have the highest share of suburbs favouring buyers over renters, whilst New South Wales, Victoria and the ACT have very few suburbs where it's cheaper to buy than rent. Houses are cheaper to buy than rent in 95% of Northern Territory suburbs and in nearly half of all suburbs in Western Australia. Spooked by repeated interest rate rises, Australian homeowners are refinancing in record numbers. $14 billion worth of home loans were placed with a new lender in Australia in August alone, according to the Australian Bureau of Statistics. That is an increase of 13% on July and 20% on August 2021. A record 27,667 mortgages were involved compared to the 23,642 who swapped lenders in the same month a year ago. Borrowers with a standard $500,000 mortgage are meanwhile facing a cumulative $735 monthly hit to their family budget as a result of the 6 rate rises announced by the Reserve Bank of Australia since May 3rd. Looking locally, we are seeing far more stock transact in both listing and selling momentum. Since the 18th of October, in the postcodes 2541, 40 and 35, there have been 37 new listings and 37 sales with the major real estate platforms. Not only that, we're beginning to see an influx of purchasers further north who are reconsidering a less expensive option from their current locations, mostly Wollongong and Shellharbour. We're gearing up for our Ray White South Coast January auction event. 50 properties, one day, January 2023. A perfect time to make use of the summer market and capture those buyers under one umbrella. Want to know more? Reply to this email or give me a call. Looking to make the best use of the current market? If you're either expanding your property portfolio or looking to sell your current property, get in touch today. We'd love to help. I'm Wal Galbraith with the Ray White South Coast Group, and that was your South Coast Snapshot for week 44, 2022. Catch you next week. Be well.